Good afternoon, everybody. Hope I'm audible to everybody. So, on behalf of Women Entrepreneurs Development Council and SME Chamber of India, I welcome all of you here for this August gathering and the leadership dialogue. So, I would like to commence today's proceeding with a quote that resonates with the significance of our event. In every country in the world, woman plays a vital role in keeping the family stable and prosperous. Every task she embarks on and every piece of work she completes depend heavily on the special quality of hers. Educating a man would be indeed educate that man a person. But educating woman is like educating the entire family at the country at large. Now let me share some noteworthy facts about the evaluation contribution of the women entrepreneurs in the Indian economy. In an economy, women entrepreneurs are playing a crucial role in driving the country's economy forward by creating job opportunities, involving in various sectors, driving growth in the key industries, and overcoming social and cultural biases. They are particularly active in sectors such as e-commerce, fashion, education, healthcare, and technology. Women entrepreneurs are bringing new ideas and approaching to the traditional industries, as well as creating new products and the services. Despite facing many numerous challenges, such as lack of access to the capital, limited opportunities for skill development, their resilience and determination are helping to change the attitude towards women in business. In summary, Indian women entrepreneurs are making significant contribution to the economy and are helping to build a more inclusive and equitable society. Women entrepreneurs in India constitute 14% of total entrepreneurs, amounting to 8 million individuals, with 10% of formal enterprise being owned by the women. Women-led businesses make up to 20.37% of the MSME industry and employ 23.3% of labor population in India. Between 13.5 and 15.7 million businesses are owned by the women entrepreneurs, employing between 22 and 27 million individuals. So, women entrepreneurs are considering the economic foundation of the India, contributing significantly to employment generation, development, and prosperity. Women entrepreneurs play a vital role in the India's startup ecosystem, accounting for 50% and providing the 30% higher returns on investment compared to the business led by the men. So these are the statistics of the Indian women industry. So we must congratulate to the women entrepreneurs. By 2030, it is predicted that over 30 million women-owned companies will be generate around 150 to 170 million jobs. So this is a very significant amount, shaping the improvement of the Indian future. Women currently make up 22% of India's GDP, and effort to create a gender-inclusive workplace are crucial for all over developed in the country. This statistic underscores the vital role of women entrepreneurs play in the shaping of the economic landscape of our nation. Today we gather to acknowledge their achievement and discuss ways to further empower and support their vital segment of our business community. These statistics underscore the vital role that women empowerment plays in the shaping of the economic landscape of our nation. Today we gather to acknowledge their achievements and discuss ways to further the empowerment support this vital segment of our business community. Now I would like to invite Ms. Sakshi Kulkarni, Director, Women Entrepreneurs Development Council and SME Chamber of India, for her opening remarks. Over to you, Sakshi.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Mr. Chandrakant Salunke, founder and president, SME Chamber of India, and founder of Women Entrepreneur Development Council, a warm welcome to all of you to this exclusive and interesting discussion on Women Entrepreneur Leadership Dialogue. I am delighted to see such a distinguished gathering of women entrepreneur panelists and our supporters joining us today. As a director of WADC and SME Chamber of India, I am proud to host this important dialogue focusing on strategies and initiatives for sustainable business growth in the competitive era. I would like to introduce WADC to all of you. So WADC has been initiated by Mr. Salunke as a national level division of SME Chamber of India to provide a platform to women entrepreneurs from various business sectors to connect, communicate, and commercialize their business idea, as well as establish business cooperation with the potential business partners. Explore emerging business opportunities, take advantages of the various support services and benefits made available by the state government, central government, department, and financial institutions for strengthening women entrepreneurs to sustain their business growth and success in their competitive era. So, this is our first event which we are organizing towards women entrepreneurs development in Pune, and these kind of events we are planning in different cities and states also. So I would like to first say the round of applause for everyone, the women, those who have took the time out and come over here. So thank you very much for joining this. And I hope while going back, definitely you will be happy to attend this particular program. Now I would like to invite Dr. Saili Gankar. She is a Vice Chancellor of Dr. D.Y. Patil University, and also she is a member of our National Advisory Board of WADC. And her topic is strategies and initiatives for sustainable business growth in the competitive era. Over to you, ma'am.
Very good afternoon. Thank you so much for inviting me here, Honorable President of this SME Chamber of India, especially Chandrakant Salunke sir, who is the founder of this organization, along with Mr. Mahesh Salunke. Thank you so much, and of course Dr. Sakshi Kulkarni, who have taken the time to get connected and then invite here. Many congratulations for hosting this particular event at Pune. And I'm sure that since from the morning, you must be going through what is happening in today's organizations, and especially when the companies like Salesforce comes in, and then Bank of Baroda and financial organizations. The topic is very interesting, which is given to me, and I would like to understand and learn from your experiences. I'm not going to ask you the question like a teacher, so don't worry about it. But definitely I think eye contacts can help you to understand how you are connected with the participants and how we are sharing our thoughts here. A good topic, strategies and initiatives for sustainable business growth in competitive era. I think once you venture into any enterprise, I think that from that day only, our competitive spirit in terms of preparing your own organization begins. And it starts with two important areas. One is risk-taking ability of an entrepreneur. And definitely the second one, when we talk about, is that how to deal with it. So risk-taking and VUCA world, that is what they always teach in management, that we have to understand the uncertainty which is there in terms of the changes which are occurring around us. I was just talking to Tata Services, Rudra Mishra, and we said that I invited him for the campus because when teacher and professor goes, they immediately try to connect with the industry. And I asked him that, would you like to have some kind of initiatives with you if we can get the internships and the final placement? And then we started talking about it, and he said that, ma'am, I'm worried about that AI is going to change the mapping of the business organization. And then I shared my experiences also with him. On Saturday, I did one program with one trainer on online, that what is AI and BI for the organization. So we are talking about strategies and we are talking about being competitive. So the first thing which came in my mind is technology. If SMEs, they don't understand what the changes are happening, especially in technology, it will be very difficult. So coming back to my experience, which I'm trying to share it here, though I am at top position where I don't need to play with the data, right? I can ask my team member to get me the data, or Salesforce is there which can give me the dashboard, what is happening in my organization. But then when I was talking and I was going through that training program, they said that we have an Excel sheet, data analysis kind of stuff. And now Salesforce manages the complete dashboard. I have played around with that radar also, or that engine or the system which has been created. And then he said that if you have 300 files of Excel sheets from different sources, you can just click it. You have to just click it and drag that information in that chat GPT, and within a fraction of second, 1, 2, 3, 4, when you say, all the files are merged, including coding. And I've seen that myself, I experienced it. So I was just thinking about it, that if SME would like to grow, because I don't want to tell you how, one area is definitely, we always talk about the growth part of it, where SMEs, it's an age-old issue in India, because I worked very closely with small-scale industries and the forums and even entrepreneurs also. Scaling up is a major issue, that how we can scale up. And most of the time, the I factor in the SME is really difficult, because they feel that if I delegate the task, people will not be able to understand due to one reason. One, that the resource utilization, and second, the quality which you are expecting, which might not be visualized or understood very well by your team member. So that issue has to be handled when we are talking about growth in terms of taking care of scaling of the businesses. And that is what I think that's one of the area which you need to focus on. So how scale up and take help of the technology, I think that is required to be one of the prime strategy of the organization. Because resources, backward integration, I don't want to go into those typical acquisitions and mergers and resource utilization that you all are doing it extremely well. But I can see that what is very important is that how you're going to utilize the technology to take the decisions quickly so that you can understand the customer's expectation. And if we understand it very well, then the things will start falling in place. So then the next one, it comes like one is the productivity, because it's a high volume, low cost. That's what is always said. And that productivity is required to be looked at it in a very serious way, which can help you. And that therefore, scaling up can increase the profit margin. I don't need to tell you, oh, you all are experienced. I can see that. Finance is very easy now, because again, you just put it that this is the cost of my product and how much it should be, the profit should be, and who all are my competitors. You will get everything in front of you in no time. But when it comes to the table and what I can say that converting or maybe fulfilling the expectations of customer. Because today's organizations, one is of course technology driven, and second is the customer centric approach is there. So today everyone is demanding their own product. That personalized services and organizations are also expecting that everything should be personalized, or should personalize, it means not individual I'm talking about, the organization related, that how I can get the product which defines me, which helps me. And so if you are into that, maybe consultants, maybe producers, maybe service providers, maybe HR team members, right? I think we need to think about that, how that talent and that expectations can be delivered at our organization. So when we are talking about competitive, Peter Drucker is one of the thinker who has given this particular word, that sustainable competitive advantage, where he's talking about cost, the cost of the product. And second, he is talking about the innovation. So research and development is also one of the core area of every firm, right? They have given me only 10 minutes, and you know very well once the professor takes the mic, and then it is at least minimum 45 minutes, right? So though the reels time could be few seconds, so I am trying to restrict myself, going more into detailing. So what I'm saying is that, of course, that understanding the customer, understanding the consumer, understanding your own client is very important. Who is your client? And I think, fine, technology will give you all the solutions. Even if you say that write a marketing strategy for your organization, within second it will come, which all of the things are required. When you say that I would like to understand, and that's what is happening right now across the globe, right? So one is definitely that, but at the same time, customer is expecting more than what we are thinking about it. So how can we deliver that? I think there the talent and human contribution will come in terms of having critical thinking and critical analysis. So product cost, the differentiation strategy is again a part of your strategic growth or the sustainable competitive advantage, what I talked about it. So I talked about first I talked about that how we can really look at the risk, and second about the VUCA world or uncertainty, how are you going to deal with that. Second, I talked about the technology part of it, which is creating an impact on our organization, changing the jobs, changing our interface with the consumer and customer. How can we look at it? Second, I was talking about the HR, that what talent you're going to hire, how they can deliver, how they can understand the dashboard which is changing on continuous basis. And for that, I think that is very important. So there, you may require the people, because here the role of an entrepreneur will come to understand that kind of the expectations and the numbers which are continuously changing in front of you, and that will definitely need to be understood. So the point which I discussed here is HR, and for that I think what is required is that continuously learning processes, right? So now the time has come. We always talk, especially teachers, they always talk about, or even in training programs we say that learn to unlearn and unlearn to learn again, right? So old methods have gone, right? You cannot say that I can't understand the technology. You have to learn it, right? So that is also in terms of, I'm talking about in your department, in your organization, investment into the HR, investment into learning and development is required to become, because everything is, the backbone of every organization is human resource along with technology, though it takeovers, right? So I think that part is also very important, which we need to understand. And of course, the marketing, and I think that is what, again, is a major challenge with all the companies, that how we can enter. Especially, we always talk about that, except social media, there is no market. No, it's not the fact. If you look at the population of the world and how many are the subscribers or followers of SEOs, the search engine optimization, we use it for increasing our social media, right? But then I think we need to really understand that the population is not that much, and who is the target? That is also they need to, who is your target, and are they really available on that platform, required to be assessed very well. So I think this particular part is also need to be understood. Again, AI, if you go and ask them to work on within, I was playing with that the technology when he was giving the presentation, and gave a topic that the technology in 2047 in India, right? And I got, and then the search that particular icon has asked me, how many slides do you want, right? So I said I need only 10 slides. I thought 10 could be very difficult for it to prepare it, because gone are the days where we used to play with the adding the data, dragging the pictures and all kind of stuff. So within no time, within 3 to 4 seconds, all 10 slides were there in front of me. Right, that what technology is changing, how it is. So if you go and play around that, but then what is required, and that's why the human talent and entrepreneurship leadership will come. What are you into, and how are you going to present it? So I think digital transformation, digitalization of the business, and at the same time your presence in the market is very essential when we talk about marketing, right? So, and that will help you to understand with and especially when you go for marketing, it's always like, what is your differentiation strategy? That is what Peter Drucker talks about. How different you are from others. And that could be your product, that could be price, that could be the service, or could be everything, right? So I think that is what we need to understand. Today only I was going through one Economic Times, the analysis, and they say that every day, I thought Apple could be making some 3 or 4 kind of digit number annual revenue. I was thinking about it. But then when I went into more detail, it was per day 365 million per day revenue Apple alone is making across the world, right? So look at the kind of deep, going into a deep the dive to understand how businesses are run, right? So I think we need to really work on it. And most of the time, so that's why the marketing, we really need to understand what kind of expectations are there from customer and what we would like to deliver it with the help of technology. And of course, the last part is very important. I don't want to take much of your time, but I think one more important area is your financial, the capacity which we really do, or the literacy, rather than literacy, more of skills which are required are very important in terms of costing, in terms of negotiation. I think those things really play an important role. And along with that, how we can have more collaboration. Today, if you look at it, every organization, I'm sure if you refer that, what do you mean by sustainable competitive advantage and how company can sustain in the business environment. And one of the key is that how can we have more and more collaborations and partnership. And that is what has been talked into or discussed into the concept is that backward integration and forward integration. And that's how today, if you look at it, the companies are going into multiple verticals, right? The best example everyone gives in every seminar is Tata, and having so many conglomerates, so many verticals available. The reason is that how we can really go into it and acquire those resources. So the time has come where SMEs and even the MSMEs have to really work on this, that having the collaborative or partnership kind of stuff which can help them to understand, right? So I was talking to Skoda and they said that we are manufacturing the products for Mercedes-Benz. Someone said that Tata says, the Mercedes said that we are producing our few products in some other organization, because resources, rather than investing in resources, right, utilizing the resources is the new concept which has come, and that comes to the partnership, right? I don't need to create or purchase everything all the time, and that entrepreneur has to learn it, because most of the time we feel that I need everything on my table. Not required, right? Not required the offices, the office spaces. So everywhere you have to really understand that how business models are changing. You have to define, you have to design, you have to re-engineer your business model to cater to the needs. And of course, understanding your appetite in terms of risk and in terms of investment, which we are talking about. And I think if we look at it, I hope you all are there with me, what I'm trying to, maybe in a very little simple way, I'm trying to explain it to you, because it looks very simple, but it's really difficult, right? Because when you say that this is very easy and we can do it and we are doing it, but when you start going more into detailing, then we realize it, oh no, I'm not doing this, right? And we forget it. Or maybe most of the time we overlook, or we feel that we are overconfident that we are already doing it and it won't happen. But I think revisiting again and again those thoughts, again and again those objectives, again visiting your own agendas are very important for an entrepreneur, right? It's a basic thing, but that is required, and that becomes your habit, right? And that's why entrepreneur has to create more entrepreneurs within his organization. And that is what the ownership, you have to teach to your people that how they can do it, how they can visualize it. Maybe the person will move out, absolutely fine, right? But still that passion and that ownership, that freedom, that delegation has to be done from the organization. So more the process-oriented organization, people will be more free to contribute for the solid reason or the main objective which you all are aiming at. I think I should stop here, because it's the more than 15 minutes I have taken. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak here. It's my interest topic, because I just love love this, the entrepreneurship. I love those risk takers. I love those, especially those who create the jobs for this country. And today, if you look at it, the opportunities are really huge. Number of opportunities are available. We are getting confused with a lot of information, what to do and what not to do, right? So I think that analytical mind is required with an entrepreneur to venture into. Companies are looking forward, and if you go through a lot of the magazines and newspapers, you'll find that unicorns. Fine, I'm sure you must have learnt very hard way that emotionally you cannot get connected or attached with the product or anything, right? If it is not doing well, just shut it down and go to the next level. If we don't do it, and that's the problem with Indian, the old or my generation kind of entrepreneurs, that we love our organization, we love our products so much, right? I heard this from Sunita Raman, I may be wrong with the spelling, who was the founder of FAME, the Ramanathan, yeah. So FAME was her product, right? And she was there in one of the program, and she said, I have sold my product to Godrej or some other, Dabur, I think, or some other company, right? So I was there as a moderator. I'm talking about 10-15 years back. And I asked her, की तुम्हाला वाईट नाही वाटलं हे तुमचं एवढं तुमचं product काम चांगलं करताय, production येताय. Your product is the only one product where everyone, any female goes in any medical shop, she asks for the FAME पाहिजे आहे म्हणून. And you are selling that. She said, no. I do not have any attachment with that. I have sold it, I got a good price of it, and I moved on and I have invested in some other business. You know, that's the spirit of an entrepreneur which we need to have it. This was the example I wanted to give it to you because it just flashed in my mind. But then I think the Indian entrepreneurs have to change their way of style, way of working, and of course having a large vision, right? We cannot have the small kind of stuff that today's the kind of calculations or 1 year or 2 years. We have to really grow and move on creating the big organization. It's possible, it's not difficult, and you are already into it. The thing is that you need to have that kind of approach with the help of what these people, they must have shared with all of you, that how Salesforce, how all these companies are doing. Because Salesforce, I'm saying it because that gives you a different dashboard in front of you, and that helps you a lot. With this, I don't want to continue again. Thank you so very much for giving me an opportunity to speak with all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. I would like to request you to please be on a stage. I'll request Mr. Chandrakant Salunke, Founder and President, Women Entrepreneurship Development Council and SME Chamber of India, to felicitate Madam by presenting a bouquet.
Good afternoon, all. And I'm very much delighted to be a part of this event. Thank you for inviting me at such a great platform, and very happy to be here in this event. So the topic given to me is entrepreneurship and institutional support by government. So what are the, like you all know that SMEs and MSMEs nowadays are emerging into a vibrant and dynamic industry in this sector. And since last 5 decades, we are seeing the development, and it has been evolved into a very vibrant and dynamic way. So as ma'am said, that how AI, data science, and the innovative technologies, how these are helping these ecosystems. And apart from these technology support, how government institutional support is offering these business sectors and SME sectors. I will just quickly go through the slides. As the MSME definition, you all know that the MSME is divided into 3 categories as per the investment and the turnover. So as I am into last 20 years, I am into Government of Maharashtra Agriculture Department as Deputy Project Director. I would quickly take you through agri and processing demand drivers. You can see here agro and food processing demand drivers, growing nuclear families and working women, rising demand and for functional food, increasing modern trade formats and private label penetration, changing demographics, and increasing urbanization, the lifestyle aspirations. So agri-produce is divided into seasonality, perishability, variability, availability, and bulkiness. So these are the venture capitalists who are providing support in agri-ventures, who wants to invest in their startups in agriculture. So these are the focus areas, as agriculture is an unorganized sector and it has been evolved in last 20 years. It has, after COVID, it has taken a dynamic shape into this sector. So these are various emerging sectors in agriculture. Agri inputs, where fertilizers, seeds and pesticides, trading is and commercialization happens. ICT in agriculture, animal husbandry, nutrition and health, post-harvest technology, farm mechanization, supply chain management, fisheries, warehouse management, farmer service centers, and dairy. So this is the incubation support offered by some of the incubation agencies here, government agencies. So these offerings include infrastructural offerings, capacity building, technical mentoring, business mentoring, regulatory and advisory services, IPR facilitation, networking, and funding. So starting with DIC, every district is having DIC support for MSMEs and SMEs. So with the support of central government, the state government, as per the industry policy 1977, started DIC in every district of the state. The DIC is headed by general manager and is supported by industry promotion officers. They work under Directorate of Industries, the Department of Industry in Maharashtra. So under them, this DIC is functional. Subsidy schemes, DIC assists SSI units and rural artisans to get subsidies such as power subsidy, interest subsidy, and for engineers. Technocrats and women are given preference. District industry DICs are supposed to provide pre-investment, investment, and post-investment assistance to the entrepreneur under one roof. So MSMEs development institutions. So these are the set up in state capitals and other industrial cities all over the country. They guide the entrepreneurs for selection of product location, raw materials, machinery layout, production process, managerial consultancy, etc. With the changing times, they also focus on modernization, technology, upgradation, acquiring international quality systems, energy conservation, pollution control, etc. for the MSMEs. Also, EDP, MDP, such programs of skill development programs are conducted by them. Khadi and Village Industries Commission, this is one of the dynamic sector which is coming up nowadays. Besides Khadi, KVIC promotes soaps, detergents, pottery, honey, and handmade paper. Just now, in last cabinet only, Devendra Fadnavis ji has declared Madhache Gaon. This concept has been evolved and it has been implemented. So few districts have been chosen for this initiative. KVIC implements various schemes for Khadi cluster development, but the most prominent being the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, PMEGP. This is one of the very good initiative of Government of Maharashtra, PMEGP. So these are the offerings and the subsidies and the priorities are given to the minorities and women especially. NSIC, National Small Industries Corporation, it provides marketing support like tender marketing. It forms a group of micro and small units manufacturing the same product, thereby pulling into their capacity. NSIC applies the tenders on behalf of MSMEs for securing orders for them. NSIC also does single point registration for government purchase. It provides marketing intelligence, organize exhibitions and technology fairs, buyer-seller meets. It also provides credit support, technology support, and incubation of unemployed youth for setting up of new micro and small enterprises. As you are all aware that NABARD is an agriculture, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So in the farm sector, they provide support for starting many agricultural units in animal husbandry and poultry too. In the off-farm sector also, NABARD promotes livelihood development with the help of SHGs. Small Industries Development Bank of India, SIDBI. SIDBI provides loans to micro, small and medium enterprises through microfinance institutions, non-banking financial companies and NBFCs. SIDBI provides funding for new startups through SIDBI Venture Capital Limited. Micro enterprises are helped by SIDBI through micro units development and refinance agency, which is named as Mudra. So nowadays Mudra loans are also becoming popular. State financial corporations, SFCs. So these offer term loans, working capital loans, seed capital assistance to suit the needs of various categories of the entrepreneurs. In Maharashtra, it is called as Maharashtra State Financial Corporation, MSFC. And loan assistance is provided for purchase of land, construction of factory buildings, purchase of plant and machinery, and electrification and installation expenses. And renovation and modernization too exist in this. So the main function of corporation is to promote aid and foster the growth of micro and small enterprises in the country. As you all are aware, PMKVY, which is Pradhan Mantri Kaushalya Vikas Yojana, which is offered by skill development centers, by the Skill Development Ministry. So the industrial training is also offered through these Skill Development Ministry and SDC. Export Promotion Council and Commodity Boards, EPCs. So these support firms in entering into the international market. They also do trade fairs, exhibitions, and buyer-seller meet in India and abroad. Spices Board, Coir Board, Silk Board, and Coconut Development Board. So these are some of the examples of this board. So these are the e-resources available on the internet with the government support. Skill India portal, you can see here the website link also. This can also be done using Skill India mobile app. Startup India is a new company. The startup is a new company with immense growth potential founded by one or more entrepreneurs to do business of an innovative product or service having potential to solve certain social problems. It is registered under DPIIT, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. And under these, after this registration, we get n number of benefits and funding and incentive support for the startups. And also some tax exemptions are also included in this. SIDBI Udyami Mitra, it is launched by Udyami Mitra portal. It has launched Udyami Mitra portal and improves accessibility of credit and handholding services to MSMEs. The website link which is provided it also gives a link to the project profiles, business ideas, and knowledge for entrepreneurs. So KVIC has launched its PMEGP e-portal, which looks this way. And You can download model projects from here. SIDBI Stand-Up Mitra, it is the scheme to facilitate bank loans to minimum one scheduled caste or scheduled tribe borrower and at least one woman borrower per bank branch of scheduled commercial banks for setting up a new enterprise. One of the most important website you can refer nowadays is MySME. mysme.gov.in. So this provides all the information related to MSMEs, policies, registrations, services, schemes. And this website address is like mysme.gov.in. Udyam registrations of MSMEs, schemes guidelines, project profiles are also available in this portal. Credit technology, cluster development, marketing, intellectual property rights, quality infrastructure, incubation, and skill support. As ma'am said, that technology, innovation management, and entrepreneurship information service, Time IS. This portal has been derived nowadays and it's been explored hugely. Innovative enterprises based on new technologies developed by research organizations can be started by getting support from the websites like Technology Innovation Management and Entrepreneurship Information Service, Time Is. The website is maintained by National Science and Entrepreneurship Development Board, Department of Science and Technology, and Government of India, and Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI. And the last institutional support is National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, which is NISBUD. It is an autonomous institute under Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So NISBUD is an apex organization of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship engaged in training, consultancy, research, and in order to promote entrepreneurship and skill development. It acts as a catalyst in facilitating emergence of competent first-generation entrepreneurs and transition of existing SMEs into growth-oriented enterprises. The major activities of the institute include training of trainers, management development programs, entrepreneurship skill development programs, and cluster intervention. Thank you. Thanks for the patient listening.
Now I would like to invite Dr. Netra Neelam. She is Director, Symbiosis Center for Management and Human Resource Development. And her topic is Unique Leadership Qualities for Sustainability, Profitability, and Diversification. Ma'am, over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And this is voice of a lecturer, so it is impossible that you sleep. Yeah, and especially after such an informative, presentation that has been made by ma'am, and so much of government support. Probably a lot of times, most of us are not able to take the support because we are not aware of it. And I really thank, the team here who has invited me and all the stalwarts to speak to you all about how one can talk about getting support to be able to make a difference in our lives and life of people around. So while looking at all the topics, and being a hardcore teacher at heart, so I prepared some notes. But very, very important is when we prepare our notes for the benefit of the audience, and a lot of times more beneficial for us, we feel that it is also important that we connect these dots by giving some real-time examples. So I can see a lot of men in the room where we are talking about women entrepreneurs. So what do you think could be the reason? Men are controlled by women. Actually, we always say behind every successful man, there is a sound advisor. and that advisor can be a woman. Yeah, because a lot of times the kind of multitasking a lady is able to do, I'm not saying men don't do, but predominantly a lady is made to multitask. Yeah, and when we talk about women entrepreneurs, so while I was contemplating on what exactly should be my topic of, speaking to all of y'all, I think topic in terms of what are the leadership qualities women inherently have while dealing with the world around is something I thought I should speak to you all about. And women in terms of what are the qualities of leadership women can build in their own team so that the team progresses. Yeah, and after having been in education for the last 22 years, we've been teaching capacity building, we've been talking about so many women entrepreneurs whom we have dealt with. And on a personal note, I have also worked with Swayam Sevaks and Swayam Sangatikas of the Pune Municipal Corporation. And I had a great opportunity to understand what are those small little requirements women have and how if we are able to empower that lady, she can do wonders. And she can really, really do wonders if a little bit of support is given to this particular lady. Now, research shows that 96% women feel guilty at least once a day. Now, that's really alarming. Yeah, and this woman who plays the role of a mother, a wife, a daughter, an administrator probably in her role, or a colleague, a friend. Just imagine so many different things that one needs to balance. And after balancing all this, she still feels guilty. So, do you think it's a nice feeling to have? And I don't know how many of you all study emotions because I am from the HR background. I practice psychometry. Guilt is one emotion which goes deep into our system and it is the most difficult to get out of it. So happiness hota hai, sadness, we get angry, but we can switch very quickly. But if guilt goes in our system, it's very, very difficult for us to bring it out of our system. You need to take a conscious effort to bring it out. Yeah, and so when you talk about leadership in entrepreneurship per se, when it comes to women, there are 4 or 5 things which I have put down. One is get into entrepreneurship if you have a long-term perspective. Nobody will ever do wonders within a day. Now, I had one of my students just about 2 days back. Yes, today's Wednesday. I think on Monday I met her. She woman entrepreneur. Okay, she was our student a couple of years back, and now she got funding from Shark Tank. Yeah, she is Vidushi of Isak Perfumes. Now, Vidushi already had her ancestral's business, and she wanted to make some change. And obviously, a lot of times we feel, today also, by the way, when loan as a category of product is sold, people sell it for son's education and daughter's marriage. And it's a very pity kind of a situation when you are talking about money in this manner. But just imagine, so from the beginning itself, a lady has a constrained life. Now, what did Vidushi do? She said, though it was my family business, we were into business for a couple of hundreds of years, and people were very successful. They were fine with whatever they were doing. But after I did my MBA, I thought I should bring in a different perspective. And she brought in so many different fragrances. Can you imagine one fragrance which she brought was the fragrance of mitti ki khushboo. First rain. If you look at on Amazon, you will have her fragrance on Amazon which is sold. Now, this is something very unique which you brought into the business. And then obviously she moved from there. Now she was a Shark Tank participant and she got some funding as well. So long-term perspective, to be able to do, something innovative and being what the customer wants is important. Amazon, when you talk about Amazon, in all their meetings, they have one chair which is vacant in the meeting. And that chair is named customer. And every discussion they do, they feel, this customer is the one for whom we should have the discussions. So keeping the customer in mind is something very, very important. So first thing is having the long-term perspective. Next important thing is holistic thinking. Now, we have to, as an entrepreneur, you have to talk about not shareholder perspective. We have to talk about stakeholder perspective. And there is a vast difference between shareholder and stakeholder. So shareholder is one of the stakeholders, correct? But we have to talk about so many different aspects. We have to talk about the customers, we have to talk about the suppliers, we have to talk about our own people who are in your organization. Another student of mine, he also, he went as the jury in Shark Tank. Yeah, Vikas, he is from Happilo. Now just imagine, his father, his father had a business of spices. Okay, and just before COVID hit, he said, okay, let me also, and by the way, just imagine, at SCMHRD, so I come from SCMHRD, which is one of the institutions of Symbiosis. There we have various student bodies, okay? And one of the student bodies is Entrepreneurship and Consulting Committee. Now, Vikas, he told me, ma'am, I was actually rejected by this particular committee. But my passion, I did not give up. I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship, and he joined his father's business. Now, father was selling spices for a couple of years. What did Vikas do? Vikas said, I want to sell dry fruits. Okay? And when Vikas started to talk about dry fruits, suddenly COVID hit. Now, the moment COVID hit, what was the requirement at that time from the government? Only essential products will be given permission for operations in the industry. Or, you'll be asked to manage your offices in person. Now, Vikas said, ma'am, I went and stood in that line and said, look, the most important reason for people to stay healthy is to be able to build the immune system. What better than dry fruit can build immune system? So on one side, there were people who said, people are struggling for basic necessities, and you are talking about dry fruit, which is so important, we will not give permission. He said, day in, day out, I went and stood in that line and said, how dry fruit is very, very important, and how people should consume it during COVID, and how they should improve their immune system. And he said, ma'am, I got the permission, and after that, I have not looked behind. From one particular innovation to the other, things kept on moving. Now, why I'm putting this across to you is, in all challenges and all the problems, it's very important to look at the opportunity. And opportunity is everywhere, whether it is a necessity brand or it is a luxury brand. Now, this is what a leader should do. And you as an entrepreneur have multiple responsibilities. Yeah, it's not only, and see, when we get into any kind of business, we are the only ones who probably have stake in that business. But the moment we pick up, it is important that you take people along. And then it is not only your responsibility to fetch for yourself, you have to fetch for 10 others. And that time when I was speaking to these entrepreneurs, they said, ma'am, every day there is a challenge. A lot of times we don't know if our money is going to be able to manage this month's salary. But Vivekanand, what did he say? He said, the day you do not face any challenge, that is the day you should understand you are in the wrong profession. And I think that is one biggest takeaway which any entrepreneur should be able to have. Now, I'll give you one example which, I witnessed, you can say, I lived through it. So I did one small project which was funded by ICSSR. Now, this project was in the area of, so being a woman, one understands the kind of hurdles or challenges one can have. By the way, I was very lucky that I was the eldest in the family, and I have been given all the privileges by my parents to be, the boy of the house. And in fact, so many times my father has told me, look, men are equally good. So, don't feel you are too superior. So that's the mindset and that's the, upbringing I always had. But when I used to see people around, I used to find a lot of challenges. And so I thought I should work in the area of women empowerment. And so I, pitched for a project funding with ICSSR. And I got this fund where I was able to work on women empowerment through craft revival. And when I saw the challenges these women face, it's multifold challenges. Right from when, now craft is predominantly a woman's area, but over there also accepting women as a business leader. From there the struggle begins. For people to give you opportunity to go and talk to them about the project. For you to go and talk about funding. I met one lady who said, Madam, there was so much of problem of funds that I started my own bank. Just imagine. And this lady, she now talks about women empowerment and she has a couple of people who are her customers and she says whatever money they get, it goes directly into their bank account. That is the kind of women empowerment. So another quality of leadership obviously is to empower the people you are working with. One more example I will give you, small little example. I was talking to one woman in the area of Kasuti craft, and I asked her, what is your monthly income? That lady told me, Madam, हमको 5,000 से 7,000 रुपए तक मिल जाता है. Just imagine, 5,000 to 7,000. How many hours do they work? Minimum 5 to 6 hours a day. After they finish, because they are not allowed to go outside and work, everything comes to the house and they have to take care of children. No, after doing all that, I said, but 5-6 हज़ार में क्या होता है? She said, नहीं मैडम, हमारा तो बहुत कुछ हो जाता है. And I asked her, what do you spend your money on? You know what she said? She said, my money which I get it from the craft center. And it's good that I have to go to the craft center to give that craft, bring another craft. And on my way back, I am able to buy some biscuits for my child. I am able to buy some bread for my child. And हमारे यहाँ पर biscuit and bread and toast and all this are luxury items. But I am able to give that from that little something which I earn. Now imagine her level of empowerment and her level of satisfaction. And who is running this entire show? There is a lady behind empowerment. So women can be great motivators when it comes to self-motivation as well as motivating people around. And just 5 things in your mind which I want to put across is read a book by Peter Senge, which talks about 5 disciplines. If you have these 5 disciplines, whether you are working for an organization, you are a CEO of an organization, or you talk about starting your own organization, or you talk about starting something small. These 5 principles which I'm so fortunate that I read this book long back, but I really feel anybody who wants to excel should be having this one book in their personal library. That is called as 5th discipline. And in that 5th discipline, Peter Senge talks about 5 disciplines. Okay? One of the first disciplines he talks about is personal mastery. He says, if you embrace personal mastery, you will be able to do wonders. That means what? Practice so much that you do things effortlessly, perfectly. We walk effortlessly, but we walk perfectly. That is called as personal mastery. Next very important thing so I'm just giving you just not even tip of the iceberg. You can, read about this in that book. Next which he speaks about is mental model. What is mental model? Please change that mental model. In schools, what were we taught? We were taught doctor means a boy and teacher means a lady. That used to be the first thing that used to, come to our mind. So change your mental models. People see what we are prepared to see. And that should not happen. Shift your focus. Your son can become a chef and your daughter can become a pilot. That is shift in mental model. So a leader first should be able to shift, make that shift in mental models. The third thing which very important he spoke about is having a team vision, shared vision. See, your priority as an entrepreneur is very different from somebody else's priority. So when we had this panel discussion, there was another, entrepreneur who was talking. He said, ma'am, what happens is, I am able to do that work in half an hour. But when I want somebody else in my team to do the work, it comes to me after 2 hours. Bhai, it is your business. It is not somebody else's business. So if you want 10 people to be a part of your story, then there should be shared vision. You should talk about how you are able to integrate that individual's purpose in life with your purpose in life. And then with shared vision, so you know what is shared vision? Best example, if you have a binocular, one person looks from one particular eye and the other one from the next one, and you are seeing the same picture. That is called as shared vision. So first is personal mastery. Second is change the mental model. Third, important is to have a shared vision. Fourth, extremely, something that we usually tend to ignore is team learning. Keep learning all the time. At no point in time can we say, and one disability which he talks about is, I am my position. The moment you say, now this is what I am, you are gone. The moment you acquire a position, you cease to learn. So team learning is something that needs to be done on an everyday basis in the organization. You learn, you ask your team to learn, and everybody learns together. At no point in time you can say, I have achieved it all. And the last one, which he actually calls as the fifth discipline, is systems thinking. To be able to understand. Now, the moment I know, it's become dark, or the chirping of the birds is really going on too much, I immediately should be able to gauge it will rain now. That means what? To be able to be vigilant about what is going on. And don't talk about systematic thinking. Life does not have a linear pattern. Life does not happen one after the other. Life happens simultaneously. And if you want to get into entrepreneurship, which is the right time? It is now. You can't have everything in place and then say, abhi main shuru karta hu. Aise nahi hota hai. Okay, and I'm so glad so many men are sitting here. You understand the urge with which a lady is talking? Yeah, please give that lady that kind of support. And for ladies also, for ladies also, please ask for support. I always keep on saying this to everyone. Asking support is not a sign of weakness. No, not at all. It is a sign of strength. Yes, and you ask the support and you will get it. I mean, what is the big shame in telling your husband one day, look, you eat food later, let me eat first? I mean, so what? Or so many times, you also go home hungry sometimes and you tell your daughter, wait, your tantrums I can handle later. Okay, I will eat first and then I will give you or cook for you. I don't think we need to feel guilty about anything we do as a lady. And this leap of faith, if you want to take, this is the right time. Please go ahead. So a big round of applause for all the ladies who have taken out the time, to be here today and who are going to talk about going that extra mile and following the Nike, tagline which says, just do it. And all the best to everyone.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging speech. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Namita Shetty, CFO D Level Private Limited, and she is going to talk on strategies for transforming enterprises for better business growth.
Thank you, Sakshi. My sincere gratitude to SME for inviting me over here to this wonderful event. I was selected as a panelist, actually. I was not prepared for this speech, but now last moment they said, you have to talk something about this. So I am just trying to, talk about it. Good afternoon, everyone over here. I'm Namita Shetty, CFO De Laval Private Limited, a Swedish company, and we are part of Tata Laval Group. I'm working since 2006 in a leadership role in different industries. I'm here to have a dialogue with you all, to exchange my knowledge and ideas so that I can learn from my fellow panelist members over here, so that while going out from this room, we can go empowered and with a growth mindset. I'm happy that in this room I can see equal amount of men compared to women sitting over here. As we say, in every successful woman there is a man, and every successful man there is a woman. So I hope women over here we will be empowered, and I hope men over here will make their women empowered. So thank you. As Sakshi said, I will give a light over strategies to improve business growth. When we talk about a business, it starts from an idea, right? We must have one idea. First, you have to understand your strength and your passion. You have to know what is your passion and what you are good into. You know, you have to work towards that. So, sorry. Yeah, first you have to have an idea about the business in which you have to grow. Next is, as we all know, we have to understand our target consumers. It is not only having an idea or a product or a service you are good into, but you have to look at the mindset of the consumers. What is their pain area? What is the gap? Who is your target audience? Might be your target audience are based on the age group, based on the gender, based on their food preferences, anything it might be. But you have to know who is your target audience and what is their preferences, what is their pain areas, and you have to develop your services or products according to their need. Then only you can succeed in your business. And next thing is innovation. I can see SME, why SME or startups are fail, it is because of lack of innovation. You have to have the mindset in your workplace that all whoever team you are working with, it is a couple of board members or your employees, are inculcate that mindset in them of creativity and innovation and all. They have to come up with new ideas and new innovative mindset, you know. In the new era, there is a change mindset, you know, that how Dr. Netra has just now given an example of how a dry fruit vendor has made up his marketing strategy, because you have to be so quick to adapt those change in your day-to-day business, you know. So business is changing very quickly. Nobody is waiting. So you have to grab the opportunity. You have to agile in adapting that opportunity. That is very important. So you have to be, you know, so agile, so quick in decision making that otherwise some other will grab that opportunity and go against you, because competition is too much. And next one I can say is, like she said, take the support of mentors, participate in the seminars like these, so where you can gain knowledges, exchange the ideas, and take some knowledge with you, and you can take the support of mentors. Keep learning, don't sit with your ideas. You have to update yourself. How can you update? That is by learning, that is by attending these kind of seminars or some professional organizations or some e-learning. I have learned that some e-learning service providers are here already with us. So you have to get knowledge from all these organizations. And Next thing I can say is financial management. As we can see, who are the financial managers in our household? That is the women, right? If we see in our grandparents' era, women are the main financial managers at home. They know how to handle the finance for the emergency. They know what funds they needed for the monthly ration. They know what is needed for their capital investment. They know everything. But you come out of that household to a business setup, you will be blank. Why? Because you are not prepared. So you know, women are multitaskers. We have to use that multitasking skills in our business. That is very important. I think women can do a lot of things if they use their multitasking capability. Women are, they are actually have the, what you can say, they know how to handle a team, you know. They have that emotional quotient also, intelligence quotient also. So that is very important. And fourth one I can say is marketing. You have to know how to market your product. Nowadays, there are so much digitalization is coming up, and you can e-commerce is coming up. So everyone wants their product on their fingertip. Fingertip means everything is on the mobile, smartphones. So you have to be ready on that. So you also have to adapt that kind of a digitalization technology in your day-to-day business. So, and last one I can say is you have to balance your work-life balance. Make a boundary to our work and personal life so that work or personal life won't affect with each other. So that is most important thing in women life. Every woman life, there should be a balance between work and personal life. And you have to take care of your health and give time to yourself and for your mental and physical health, and do good in your life. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your speech. Now we are now coming to the end of the session. In meantime, in the morning session, if you can see in our agenda, we have mentioned about the introduction part, which is left. So if you all are okay, I would like to request all of you to just intro yourself. We will share the mic with you and you can just introduce yourself in 2 minutes. You can just say about your name, your designation, company, and what you are into. So the other people will also understand you are from which field. So are you all are okay for that, or okay? Yeah, thank you. Ma'am, if you want to sit down, no problem. Or if you want to be over here, it's fine with us. A big round of applause for all these ladies. Thank you.